What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my new career mode. This is episode number 22, and we start today's episode off by officially ending the last season. Obviously, in the last episode, we had the final day of the Serie A season. Despite beating Cesena at home by 2-0, we sadly did miss out on the title as Juventus won against Hellas Verona away from home. So, unfortunately for us, in our debut year with Torino in the Serie A, we couldn't go all the way and win the title, although that was a huge ask anyway, and did fall and finish in second place. Even so, it does mean we'll be playing Champions League football coming into the new season, so really excited for that. To end the season off, we did decide to promote Francesco Camisa, a winger we had in our academy, 4-star skills, looks pretty tasty, as a very young 16-year-old, could definitely develop for the future. I just realised how wrong that sounds, but he looks like a really good player for the future, so he comes in, and there you go. And we also had our final scout report as well, with our scout currently based in Italy, signed a couple of players to our academy, and we'll see how they look in the new season as well. As you would have seen in the last episode too, we had 4 players that had their contracts up at the end of the year as well. That sounded so wrong, didn't it? We had 4 players who had their contracts up at the end of the year, and we're going to let them all run down, just because I don't think any of those have the potential to succeed here at Torino, and there you go. And we also hired 2 global transfer network scouts as well. We just picked the cheapest ones, just because in the new season, I'm sure we're doing a lot of scouting, and we need enough scouts to cover the workload for that, and there you go. And also as well, we saw the final emails regarding the loans. The players we had on loan here and the players that were loaned out to, they're going back to their parent clubs, and we're also getting a lot of players coming back in from loan as well. And the board were happy with the season we had as well. We reached our objectives in the Domestic Cup and the Champions League as well. In the league even, qualifying for the Champions League. And there you go. So we officially start the new season in today's episode. And also a reminder, the first episode of every new season always features nothing other than transfer business and generic emails and stuff. There are never any games that physically get played. So if you're not interested in episodes that don't have games, I do recommend skipping over this one. But also as well, if you do want to see episode number 23 tonight, then get this video to 1,000 likes, and I will upload it at some stage later on tonight. So there is your challenge, 1,000 likes, and I'll upload episode number 23 later on tonight, and we'll have our second double upload in just 3 days. Still, as you can see, we've got 4 players arriving on a pre-contract. Those are Zardes, Cher, Hong Chol, and also, who was the other one? Zardes, Cher, Hong Chol, and I signed another player on a pre-contract as well, who I should know, but I can't think of right now. Oh, Bernie as well, the goalkeeper. And there you go. And also as well, the league objective is qualify for the Champions League. The Domestic Cup is reach the round of 16 stage, and also the Champions League objective is to reach the group stage, which you should be able to do. And our season's budget is £16 million. So £16 million for the new season, 80 grand on the wage budget. It's not bad. In all honesty, that's pretty much what I was expecting. It's around 15 to 16 million pounds. That's what I was expecting at the end of the season. So I'm not too fussed about that. It will help us sign 1, possibly 2 good players, and there you go. And also we'll look at the 4 players that came in: Zardes, Cher, Hong Chol, and also Tommaso Berni. Now, I mentioned with Berni, I wasn't sure whether he was a glitch player or not, but let's just say I owe you guys a Coke. If you're ever in a pub in London with me, I owe you guys a Coke, because Tommaso Berni, 83 overall, 32 years old. I don't know why I said London. I don't even live in London right now, but 83 overall, 32 years old. Yeah, I owe you guys a Coke. Seriously, man. That guy looks absolutely insane. I mean, honestly, I was not sure if he'd be a glitch player. I thought for a long time you guys just pulling my leg, or for some reason he wouldn't be a glitch for me, but 83 overall on a free transfer on 5 grand a week. Yeah, I owe you guys a Coke, man. Seriously, that is a brilliant signing, and thank you thank you very, very much to everyone that was recommending me him. I really do appreciate it. So that's your signing, you know, throughout this entire career mode now, that will be your signing. And if he ever helps us win some more trophies, or win some trophies I should say, as we haven't won anything yet, that will be partially due to your signings. Thank you very much for that. And also as well, we get started with the transfers as well, and as you can see, there are going to be loads and loads of bids for Padelli and Poloski, you would imagine, because obviously those 2 players did really well last year. Also Gabbiadini as well. Now I will say these emails go by really quickly. I have to speed this footage up because otherwise the video would have been super long, but even so, if you are struggling to keep up and I'm not commentating fast enough, then just feel free to keep on rewinding the video to see what exactly is happening. But Gabbiadini is going nowhere. We're not going to sell our attacking midfielder for any price really, unless it's about £50 million, which of course isn't going to happen. As for Zaza, he was my first transfer target. We looked at him last year but never never got hold of the guy, the Sassuolo striker. Victor Fazio is going to join Chiavari on the season-long loan, which is totally fine with me, as he's a scout future star, but only 63 overall. More bids for Gabbiadini and also Padelli as well. Not too sure if Padelli will go anywhere, because I want at least £6 million for our goalkeeper, even though he's going to be a backup goalkeeper now. But so we'll have to wait and see if any clubs will match that asking price we're asking for right now. And also Denmark came back to us regarding their nation, and I wouldn't mind managing Denmark one day, but not right now. So we said no. Also a bid for Poloski from Fiorentina, and the asking price for Poloski is going to be £25 million. So I can't see that coming off. Right now, the asking prices for those three players are £25 million for Poloski, £6 million for Padelli, and £50 million for Gabbiadini. And I can't see any of those clubs matching those offers. But we'll still put in those counter offers anyway, because as I mentioned before, sometimes a club will surprise you and end up matching your ridiculous asking price. So I think it's always best to do it anyway, even though it does take a little bit more time than just flat out rejecting the deal. But still, more bids for Padelli, more bids for Poloski, more bids for Manolo Gabbiadini as well. That's probably going to be the theme for the first couple episodes, just getting loads of bids for these three players and waiting to see if any of them will match the counter offers we are putting in for them. But as you can see, there's a whole host of clubs putting in bids for Padelli, Poloski and Gabbiadini. And I've said before, I really wish in career mode you can do like an FM where you set an asking price of, let's say £25 million for Poloski, for example, and you won't even get the email unless a club is prepared to match that. But one club is going to match an asking price for Padelli, £6 million. He looks like he could be on his way to Wolfsburg, and there you go. So Wolfsburg put in a bid for Padelli of £6 million, and we should be seeing our goalkeeper leave to Germany. And also a bid came for Maximovic, but we just flat out rejected it. But yeah, we also counter-offered for Atletico Madrid for £6 million as well, and they also accepted that counter-offer. So Padelli can choose between Atletico Madrid and Wolfsburg for the club he would like to go and join, because as you'll see in just a moment's time, they did decide to match the £6 million. But Poloski's going nowhere. No one's going to match £25 million. Again, it's just because sometimes a club will surprise you and match your counter-offer, but I can't see that happening. So Poloski's probably going to stay here. However, Padelli looks like he definitely is on his way to Germany or Spain. As you'll see just in a moment's time, Atletico Madrid did match the £6 million bid for Padelli, and also, of course, he was still considering the offer from Wolfsburg as well. So more bids for Padelli, but it looks pretty certain he's either going to join Wolfsburg or Atletico Madrid. You can see the Atletico Madrid email there as they did decide to match the counter offer, and we'll wait and see what club he chooses. And as you'll see right here, Padelli does indeed decide to go to Wolfsburg, and he's on his way to Germany. So he got the top clean sheets in the Serie A last season. I thought he was a fantastic goalkeeper for us. However, he's 29 years old. He's not growing. He's going to lose his place to Bernie in the team now, thanks to your signing, and I think it's just best to cash in on him really and look to sign a backup goalkeeper on the bench, because Padelli played every game but two last season. The two he missed out on were in the cup, and I really don't think that Bernie's probably going to get an injury or anything, so we may as well just sell Padelli, buy a cheap backup goalkeeper, or just loan one in, and we'll save a bit of cash. Also, Juan Sanchez Mino looks like he is on his way to Udinese as well. We asked for £2.5 million, and eventually we agree a £2.3 million deal with Udinese, and that's totally fine with me because I don't mind Mino. I thought he was a decent player for us. He came back from loan on the first day we recorded him alongside Verdi as well, but he hasn't grown. He's still 73 overall. He's 25 years old. He's on 30 grand a week, and I think we could probably do better than him. And we also promoted Kamisa. He's only 2 overalls lower, and he's about 9 years younger. So we may as well cash in on Mino, get some money for him, free up the wage space as well. And as you can see, Udinese do indeed accept the offer. The counter offer should save £2.3 million in just a moment's time. More bids for Poloski, more rejects for Poloski, no real surprises. And also Alex Meret looks like he's going to come on loan to us as well from Udinese. We put in a loan offer for the young goalkeeper and also a £1 million future fee. So just in case he turns out to be a really decent young goalkeeper and we wouldn't mind signing him as a backup one, we can sign him for just £1 million, and that's nothing nowadays in FIFA career mode. So I'll be totally fine doing that. But still, yet more bids for Poloski, yet more bids coming in for Gabbiadini as well. And again, the counter offers are £25 and £50 million respectively, which of course probably aren't going to be matched. But as for new signings, this one was requested by quite a few of you guys, and I was definitely thinking about it myself as well. Immobile, currently playing for Borussia Dortmund, and of course a former Torino striker. Certainly wouldn't mind getting him back to the Stadio Olimpico de Torino, and we'll have to wait and see what Dortmund say. Also, more bids coming in for Gabbiadini and more asks for £50 million. Gaston Silva looks like he might be on his way to the Emirates Stadium as well. Arsenal came with a bid of 475 grand. We asked for 750 grand, and as you'll see in just a moment's time, they do indeed accept that counter offer. Alex Merritt becomes our first signing of the new season on loan as well, so he comes in as a backup goalkeeper, only 66 overall, but just 18 years old, and a £1 million future fee. I'm totally fine paying his very cheap wages just to sit on our bench for a season. And also, Amino has indeed gone to Udinese for £2.3 million. Totally fine with me, because I didn't really think he had too much of a future here, and there you go. And also, one player I'm really excited about trying to get hold of as well is Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Of course, this guy is a dead ball specialist. I wanted to sign him last year, but of course we couldn't afford him. He's an attacking midfielder, can play in a central midfield slot as well. I would love to get hold of this guy and try him out. Only 21 years old, and a former Hamburg man, could be a good signing for us. We'll have to wait and see what Bayer Leverkusen say. Also, Dortmund came back to us regarding Immobile and said they'd accept £14 million, which wouldn't be a bad deal for the 25-year-old. Don't know what his overall is right now, as we're getting a scout report on him still. But even so, I'm pretty sure he's going to be a pretty decent player. His stats already look good at first glance, and we'll have to wait and see what Dortmund say. And also, we put a bid for Stevan Jovetic as well at Manchester City. He hasn't really had his Manchester City career worked out too. Hasn't really had his career worked out too well at Man City so far. We'll have to wait and see what the Montenegro player says, though. If we do get to offer him a contract, or is he putting it straight with the £10 million, and we'll wait and see what Pellegrini says. And also, a bid for Cristante, currently at Benfica as well. The former Milan midfielder, only 20 years old and 77 overall. Looks very, very good indeed. Bids for Ruben Neves as well, the Porto midfielder, only 18 years old, looks pretty decent, and 2 more bids as well for 2 other players we were scouting to in Bonaventura and also in Mbolo, who I got so many tweets about, and I've heard he's very, very good this year. He was actually in my career mode, in my West Bromwich Albion career mode. He played for City and also scored against us a couple of times as well. He looks like a pretty decent young striker at just 18 years old, 73 overall, and we'll wait and see what Basel say. More bids for Gabbiadini. Napoli want to take the attacking midfielder back, probably not going to happen though. And also, Bayer Leverkusen rejected a bid for Çalhanoğlu, so we put in a new bid for him, and we'll wait and see what Bayer Leverkusen say, because I would love to get this guy in my midfield. I think he'll be an absolute monster. He and Gabbiadini putting in long shots from range. He's a free kick specialist as well. He could be a great player for us in the heart of our midfield. More bids for Poloski, probably more rejects as well. More rejects for Gabbiadini, and also rejects for Immobile and also Çalhanoğlu too. So a new bid for Immobile of £11 million. We'll wait and see what Dortmund say, and also too after that we see a player got sold. Gaston Silva has joined up with Arsene Wenger in the Arsenal team for £750,000. Also a transfer offer for this random 59 rated striker, 18 years old, doesn't look very good. He's on his way to Kilmarnock, and also more rejects for players we were looking at, and it looks so we have to wait for at least another episode before we can start making proper good signings. But that does end the episode, guys, so as always, big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. Don't forget 1,000 likes. I'm sure you guys can do it for another episode of Career Mode later on tonight. Let's get it done. 1,000 likes for episode number 23, and hopefully I'll see you for that episode later on tonight.